You know me, I gotta fix my voice here. I gotta. Welcome everybody to the Fake Goth Girls podcast, the only podcast where I'm the only real goth girl and these two are fucking fakes. I'm here today with my good friends, Jacob.
The one and the lonely.
And my other good friend, Theron.
I don't want to die.
Hey man, so does the rest of the world. You're not the only fucking one, my dude. I'm gonna turn my mic down a little bit because that looked a little loud. In fact, this still looks a little loud. I'm just gonna turn it to there. There we go. Now we're all gonna be about even on the same audio level here. So Jacob, I heard you had a starting topic for us. Wait, you know, I know these guys. I've known these guys since I was young. We used to go over to this guy. You know, me and this guy, we used to go over to this guy's house, just like us and 30 other wrestlers. And his mom would come down the stairs in her bathroom, and she'd make us sandwiches faster than the submarine could, man. I tell you what does that even mean, faster than the submarine could? That's what he says. I mean, that's what he says in the promo. That's what he says, is faster than submarine could. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
I don't think submarines go very fast.
No, well, I think he means Subway sandwiches, and I think he just meant to say, like, Subway, but you can't say Subway in, like, an actual, like, an actual commercial product, unless they're sponsoring you, so, like, I think he meant Subway.
Oh.
Or maybe there's just, like, a sandwich shop around where he lived called Submarine or something that just made sandwiches. Like,
or maybe they made submarines.
It's ridiculous. Maybe they did make submarines, but why would he equate making sandwiches to making submarines then? That's the question. The question is what does faster than submarine could even fucking mean?
Nothing. It means nothing.
So Jacob, you had a topic for us, right?
Oh yes. It's not a known one. It's not out there. Not a lot of people know. But those that do, you'll know, obviously.
The Illuminati. We're talking about the Illuminati today, guys. I think my top pick for the Illuminati this year would have to be the girl from Stranger Things.
Elle?
95.
Yeah, but her name's like Bobby. God, I'm so bad with last names. Oh my god.
Bobby.
It's not Ricky Bobby. Ricky Bobby could also be in the Illuminati. That would be fine with me. I'd be okay with that. Okay, but Jacob, for serious, what were you going to say?
I need everyone's opinions on the secret penguin war that the government's trying to hide from us.
Now, okay, wait.
Wait, what?
Secret penguin war implies that nobody knows about it.
Only people that know. You know, you gotta be in the know to know, you know?
No.
Exactly.
If there is a secret penguin war, we should not know about it. But that joke aside, Jacob, tell me more about this secret penguin war. Why are we waging war on penguins?
Oh, you may think it's like that, but it's quite the opposite. They're waging war on us. Us taller, long-legged folks that don't lay eggs and happen to live in warm places.
Us tall, vagina-birthing, what the fuck do penguins have?
They're birds. They're burbs.
But they're not feathers, are they?
They're covered in, like, leather or something. It's a type of leather, I think.
Us leatherless, giant, long-legged, non-waddling penguins.
Technically, we can be. Technically, leather is just tan. Like,
hey,
human
Jacob,
leather
don't remind me that Chainsaw Massacre exists, okay? Like,
I was talking more about that one guy. I honestly was about to say Gary Busey, but that's not it.
Gary Busey, fuck me up.
You hear, folks. Gary Busey is a cannibal and makes things out of human leather.
It's the first time I've heard of this. Oh man. Theron, do you have anything you wanted to talk about here?
Yeah, let's talk about how...
did you have anything you wanted to add to the penguin conspiracy first? Because we know they did this to monkeys back in like the I want to say whenever President Roosevelt was king. We did this to the monkeys in. We did this to the monkeys in the Malaysian Islands when we, or no, Malaysian Islands. No, maybe it was Panama. I don't fucking remember. We went to war with someone for bananas. I don't fucking know anymore.
I'm pretty sure it's like Panama, Costa Rica. No, wait, or was it Brazil?
It was Costa Rica. You fuck yeah, you dude. You got you.
Yeah, Costa Rica.
Also, do you care to comment on Gary Busey being a candidate?
I think Gary Busey is the kind of person that would eat like 3 people in one sitting and then not save any for the rest of the family. So like, Gary Busey is a bad cannibal, but he's also a bad friend.
Deep
words. But I bet if you like got to the bottom of it, turns out the man just wanted like steak, and his mom was like, okay, well, you want steak? Give me some of your leg then, because we can't afford it. It's the Depression. It's the Great Depression. Gary Busey lived through the Great Depression. He is immortal. His family is not.
Just like Keanu Reeves?
Yeah,
no, Keanu Reeves is like a Benjamin Button situation.
Oh god, he's gonna die young.
He's gonna die old young.
How does this work? Old, young, young? Sorry, old?
Young old? Keanu Reeves will live on forever because he's literally Jesus Christ.
Oh, shit, he's got long... Oh my god.
I would accept that.
If you say it real slow and you don't think about it too hard, Keanu Reeves kind of sounds like Jeasus Christ.
Jonas Christ.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
The Son of God and also the star of the Matrix.
Yes.
But guys, as
I'm doing some research, bro.
Is it on there? I'm basing all of this off the one photo where Keanu Reeves is sitting at a table, and I'm gonna see if I can find it and maybe edit it in later. Keanu Reeves is sitting at a table and he's got a bottle of water in one hand and a glass of wine in the other.
Oh my god, no.
It's pretty good picture, yeah. Or maybe it's no, I think it's yeah, water in the bottle. It's the glass is just sitting on the table. It doesn't really matter. Context is, you know what I mean.
Mm.
Context is irrelevant in this situation. The point is, Keanu Reeves is Jesus Christ.
I'll accept him as my new Lord and Savior.
Start a religion in Keanu Reeves' favor?
You know, I think that Keanu Reeves has a lot to learn, but I believe that Keanu Reeves can save us all.
Alright, I'd like to bring everyone's attention to hold up there it is. To this case image here.
Alright.
Oh,
that's not Jesus Christ.
But I also want you to look at this too and tell me there's no connection.
Oh.
they are so similar.
They are really similar. I'm actually kind of scared. I'm gonna, you know what? We're gonna mark the timestamp here. I'm gonna write this down really quick. It's been about
3 minutes.
8 minutes, and we've already proved that Jesus Christ is Keanu Reeves, and or the other way around. I will post both of these pictures here at 8:50.
Can't believe we just proved Keanu Reeves is the next Jesus Christ.
The actual Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, yeah. So Theron, what did you have? You had a topic?
Can you top this topic?
No, I don't think I can top.
I think you can top it because I'm a fucking genius and I'll figure out some way.
But I'm gonna add something to the Penguin War.
Oh shit! Okay, we're going back to the Penguins now. Jeasus Christ is gonna have to wait on the side burner for a second because we are going back to the Penguins, which I'm not really sure how we got off that subject, and I wasn't really paying attention to how we got off of it. But we're back now.
But this is where we tied the two together. Is
Keanu
Keanu Reeves being the next
leading
Jesus?
the next Penguin War? The Penguin Crusades are beginning, and Jeasus Christ is in the middle of it.
Is he gonna die?
Do you
for
think
our
it's Jeasus Chreaves?
Jesus Christ. I hope not.
I kind of hope it is. I'm gonna just write that down, and I'm gonna ask you guys if you have any other topics once again. Theron, you can go back to saying whatever the fuck you were saying, because I keep interrupting you, because I'm overly excited to do this.
Yeah, you are. But like I was gonna say, so after the Penguin Wars are over, does that mean he's the next coming? Is it the end of the world for the humans? Is it
For the humans saying it like we're not like you're not fucking human.
We aren't. We're Goth
Also,
girls.
I'd like to bring you guys' attention to the chat again.
Okay, wait a second.
Secretly, I am a penguin spy.
Are you?
Yeah, I have
Theron.
been living this what?
Theron, we've been friends for a long time, mate. What? You could have told me.
Yeah, it's been like
Almost 20 years now.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, yeah. I'm old.
Yeah, you're fucking old, and so am I, and so is everybody else on this earth, because the moment you pass 3 seconds of age, you're closer to dying. The moment you pop out of that pussy, you're on the road to dead.
No. What is that baby penguin holding a pistol for?
What's not
It doesn't have
pistol?
It doesn't have any thumbs.
Oh,
It
jeez.
doesn't have any thumbs. That's the thing wrong with it.
It doesn't have an opposable thumb, therefore it can't even hold the gun. Which isn't necessarily wrong. Jacob, can you do me a favor and just look up an article on the Penguin War and read it off to me?
Okay. Let me use my research. Number scene. Oh god, the first thing that pops up is it's fucking Club Penguin.
Okay, well, that's where they're getting their info, obviously, but, like, I need an Alex Jones, like, special on this shit.
They're turning the freaking penguins gay.
We're turning the freaking penguins gay. It's not a bad thing, Alex. Now, immediately moving on to the next topic, because I feel like we've gotten all the funny we can out of this one.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know, there's one more.
Just one more? Just one more thing. I'm just gonna look at this picture. Okay, that's bad. No, I don't like any of those. I like the baby penguin, but that's about it. And I'm not gonna put it in the podcast because I don't want to try and edit it in, and I don't want to write down any more timestamps than I have to. So moving on to the next topic, guys.
Uh-huh.
Guys, I found my Pokewalker.
Oh.
You did?
Yeah.
Is that the little, like, Pokeball thing with, like, the screen in the middle?
Yeah.
I've had that for years. I kept it since I got it when I was little.
Theron, you weren't that little, because I'm about to blow your fucking mind. You ready for this?
Yeah.
1 second. Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver came out September 12th, 2009.
Alright, that's still like 9 years ago, though.
Fuck you. Also, it
At
did come out a little bit longer, like little bit longer ago than I thought it would. Still, this fucking game, I cannot get it. Like, I've tried, and I love this game to death. Like, it is my favorite of all time game.
Mm-hmm.
From Pokemon, because, like, this fucking thing is ridiculous. I cannot find a version, and I'm pretty sure that, like, if I buy a new version, this Pokewalker will not work with it.
It will not walk.
It will not walk. I'm also like 90% sure that like, okay, first of all, this thing's dead. I want to know two things. One, was my Mewtwo on here? Two, is my Mewtwo gone forever?
Oh.
I'm pretty sure Pokemon will stay on there.
Yeah, but Theron, you gotta think, like, the internal batteries in Pokemon cartridges went out and you lost all save data.
Oh no.
So, if the Pokewalker works the same way, there's a possibility that I lost all save data on the Pokewalker because the battery has died.
You're right. Well, the only way to figure out is to replace the batteries.
The only way to figure out is to go to the store and buy $5 watch batteries, and then come back to my room and maybe have a Pokemon on here. And if not, Theron, I swear to God, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do because this thing's so fucking small, dude. It fits in the fucking palm of my hand at this point. This is how old I am now.
Yes.
This is how old I am now. This thing used to, like, be too big for my hand, actually. I remember this. These things are kind of small, and I remember, like, this being too big for my hand, and I would, I never went outside. You know I didn't. This was Pokemon Go before it was Pokemon Go, and I never went outside. So I sat in my room, shaking the damn thing whenever my DS was charging.
I'm fine.
See this?
Found it. I have mine in my hand, Hunter. Holy crap, you're right. You big.
It's super fucking small. Now that we're older, it's small.
Well, I mean, it's like... now that we're older, but if I was a child size, it's like...
It's
almost
pretty,
the
it's
size of
like
my palm.
ridiculously big. Like, this thing is for... Okay, listen. Can we talk about just for like a second how fucking cool this thing is?
I mean...
Like, just the concept. Just the concept.
Oh, the concept for the time is, like, revolutionary.
It's fucking awesome.
Almost
Just
mind-blowing.
It's absolutely mind-blowing that they put, like, an entire... It's an entire secondary game. It's a fucking Tamagotchi, but for your Pokemon. And there's more productivity. It looks good. It's, like, good. It's easy to look at. It's easy to, like, take in. Like, okay, this is a little thing. What does it do? It kind of even looks like a speedometer. Or, not a speedometer. Pedometer. So, like... The first thing you do is like, oh, it's got a little clip here. You clip it on your pants and fucking go for it, dude. You don't even care. I remember I was so excited for this function that the first day I got this game, my mom was like, hey, can't take it out of the box tonight. And I'm like, I'm going to take it out of the box tonight. And the first thing I did, it wasn't play Pokemon for 2 hours. It was play Pokemon for half an hour, catch a Pidgey, immediately put it on this sucker, and go outside. That was the one time. What?
I don't remember how I was with like mine at the start. I just remember having like complete fun just fucking walking around with it.
Yeah, I remember you used to be able to do some crazy shit if you had friends with him. But like nobody three things. Nobody owned this game. Anybody that didn't use this thing because they didn't understand how cool it was, and even if they did, it was like they had like a Pikachu or something on there. It was never anything fun. Like, I'd put legendary Pokemon on there and just kick people's butts.
Right.
Speaking of which, can we... And this is kind of... it's dialing it, like, way back. This is off topic, but on topic, because it's personal experience for me, right? So, when I was... let's do some math here, Theron. If I'm 19 now, how old was I in 2009?
9. It'd be 10.
10.
I was 10. I was probably... It's September 12th, and by the time I got it, it was after the release date, so I was probably actually 11.
Okay.
So, at 11 years old, my mom doesn't quite trust us to be at the house alone, right? So she's like, y'all are going to day camp. And I'm like, that sucks, but whatever, I don't give a shit. God, I love Soul Silver so much. Also, you can put it... Wait a second. I'm going to take this back for just a second. You can put Yveltal in Soul Silver. You can't, can you? I know you can't.
I hope not.
I also hope not. That's OP. I will tell you, I trashed the crap out of the game. Anyways, so my mom sent us to day camp, and it was like... It was the Salvation Army day camp, so like they're heavy Christian, heavy like whatever, you know? Oh my god, Theron. Oh my god, Theron. They were so against us playing video games that, like, they would literally get mad whenever, like, we brought one of these little things out. We'd have to hide them.
Salvation Army's, dude.
Salvation Army is trash. They do shitty things, and they're basically the most selfish charity organization ever.
Quote unquote charity. But we're not gonna get into this whole political bullshit.
Why not? That's the point of the Goth Girls podcast.
Okay. Fine. You wanna get political, Hunter?
Oh God.
Nah, this will get too heavy too quick.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyways, dude, so Pokemon Soul Silver was my shit because I was actually able to. It was the most complete game I've ever owned. At the time, anyways, like I had all the legendary Pokemon from Diamond and Pearl. I had all the legendary Pokemon from every previous game. I had all of them, right?
Right.
It was absolutely mind-boggling. There was a joke that I had about Soul Silver, which was that it had the easiest GTS to ever use. Which, for those of you who don't know, it's the global trading system. You put a Pokemon in a box, and you go, oh, I want this Pokemon for the Pokemon I put in this box, and people go, ah, yeah, that's worth it, and then they give you that Pokemon for the Pokemon that's in the box. First thing I did, for some reason, I don't remember why, but I had, like, a Latios in my Pokedex, like, just a seen one. I hadn't caught it or anything, but it was there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
First thing I did when I got the game was catch a Dunsparce off one of the roots, and I caught it in a Pokeball and like immediately put it in the GTS, and I'm like, I'll never get anything for it, so fuck it, Latios.
Shit.
I come back a month later. And that sucker is, not only is he there, not only is the Latios there, but someone took my Dunsparce. That's like actually a thing that happened. I'm not even joking. I was the most surprised I've ever been in my entire life. I couldn't use that Latios, now mind you. And
yeah,
I didn't,
right.
And I didn't go back to the GTS until, well, I couldn't use it during the main game because I didn't go back to the GTS until after I beat the main game.
Oh.
Not that I really had to, because Feraligatr is OP.
Yeah.
And by OP, I mean he's probably trash now, but man, he was fun to play back in the day. That's before I even knew anything about like competitive Pokemon or any of that.
I still don't know very much about competitive Pokemon.
Oh hell, I don't know the meta anymore. I knew it before the Alolan stuff, but like now that there's all these new Pokemon and new moves, and especially in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and there's those new Pokemon, I can't just use like Dumbreon and Cresselia anymore.
Use fucking Rayquaza. Yeah, it's fucking Mega Rayquaza.
You're literally not allowed to use that in competitions,
I
right?
know,
There.
it's banned, but that's why.
It's banned as hell. It's OP. Oh man. But like, I don't know, man. I had like all legendary Pokemon, and on top of that, I can honestly say I had legitimately obtained I can say without cheating I obtained a shiny Mewtwo.
Oh, that'd be fucking awesome.
It's green, so like it's not as cool as you think.
I mean, it's just cool to have one. I don't like
but when I say without cheating, what I mean is like my friend probably cheated to get one, and I stole it from him. So that was pretty fun. I think I did that with a lot of Pokemon. Like, he just had Pokemon that I didn't have yet, and I'm like, okay, so you can take all my Pidgey. And I will take your Mewtwo, and your Kyogre, and your whatever.
Groudon, and your...
No, I really love Soul Silver so much. It's basically what Alpha Sapphire or Alpha Ruby Omega Sapphire, right? Yes, no?
Borax.
Mhm.
Whatever. It's basically what they are now, where it's like after Endgame, it's just a go collect them all. You know.
Yeah.
You can basically catch every Pokemon. I also like Heart Gold and Soul Silver because they're basically a Kanto rehash too. Because have you ever played the game there in like full on?
No.
So after you beat the Johto storyline, you actually go back, like in the original Johto games, you go back to Kanto and you play through all of those, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, in the new game, they basically did that, but it looks way cooler.
Or does it?
It does, actually. I love those games so much. I also had an Arceus. I don't remember how I got it.
Arceus is trash.
Arceus is trash. You are absolutely right. But hey, Theron, you want to know a secret, Theron?
What?
I have one. I have an Arceus. Somewhere.
Pikachu the God Killer.
What?
I said Pikachu the God Killer.
Pikachu the God Slayer. Yeah, that's pretty good. Pachirisu the God Slayer also. Anyways, moving on. What did I want to talk about? I had a thing I actually wanted to talk about. I don't remember what it was. Do you guys have any more topics here?
We're supposed to, like, this all out ahead of time, but we completely failed on doing that because this is a spur of a moment thing.
It was a very spur of the moment thing. I'm like, hey, let's do a podcast. But I did bring this up the other day, like we were gonna do this. So like, I feel like this is your guys' fault for not being prepared for when I wanted to do it again.
Yeah, you're right. I blame Jacob.
I blame Jeasus Chreaves.
Well, you can't. That's blasphemy right now.
Well, who's gonna hit me? The Catholic Church? They don't believe Jeasus Chreaves.
Yeah, but Jeasus Chreaves believes in Jeasus Chreaves.
Jeasus Chreaves, aka John Wicks. Now that I'm thinking about it, do you think Jesus Christ would have played John Wick?
Jesus Christ is John Wick.
Yeah, but actually the old Jesus Christ, when he was not Keanu Reeves' personality, when he was like, I am consistently the Son of God all the time, super gay, hella gay for Judas kind of shit. This is all blasphemy, by the way. I'm going to hell.
Yeah, I don't think
Jesus Chreaves gonna make sure of it.
I'll pray to him before I go to bed and repent for my sins.
Well, they're pretty hard.
Yeah. Jesus Chreaves is.
Shush, I want to die.
So how about that art?
What art? What art? What are we talking about? Are we talking about the Mona Lisa? Are we talking about that guy who asked, like, if I buy the Mona Lisa, can I eat it legally?
Oh my god. Dumbest fucking...
Because I love that man for thinking of that, because now I want to eat it. I want to eat Starry Night.
Did you know that the Mona Lisa was painted by Leonardo DiCaprio?
Yes. I was made aware of that as of this week.
Okay, good. Just making sure. Some people think it's Leonardo da Vinci, but it's real.
Yeah, I mean Leonardo da Vinci definitely wasn't as great a painter as everybody says he was, but Leonardo DiCaprio, that's my man.
Mm-hmm.
He definitely painted the Mona Lisa, and he also painted, he drew what's her face from the Titanic or whatever. I've never seen the fucking movie. I don't give a shit. And then, because of that, well, okay, here's the real question. In the episode of Rick and Morty, where Jerry,
where they recreate the Titanic,
where they recreate the Titanic, Jerry basically gets raped because
he does.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it afterwards.
Yep. Basically gets raped because of that scene. So do you think, and bear with me here, do you think that's Leonardo DiCaprio's fault?
No.
I think it is.
Why?
I think it's Leonardo DiCaprio's fault because that is problematic behavior. Taking a girl into the underground where she won't be seen for anybody, drawing her.
She wanted it done.
Drawing her. Yeah. But who's to say? Huh?
Who's to say?
But who's to say? Jerry didn't want it.
But men can't be raped, so.
Yeah, men can't be raped. That's right. I forgot about that. Forgot about that part.
Piece of Titanic controversy. Both of them could have fit on that freaking door or whatever.
That's not controversy. That is a fact. The fact is, Leonardo DiCaprio's character was too stupid to realize that.
Yes, you're right.
Little known fact, Titanic is a prequel to the movie Ponyo.
Thought it was actually, like, the theory was it was a prequel to the movie Inception.
Is it? Is that a theory?
Mm-hmm. Because
Whoa.
the beginning of Inception starts with Leo DiCaprio walking out of the ocean.
No way. What?
Yeah.
I've never seen the fucking movie. I wouldn't know. I don't know enough about this movie to.
What was he
to
dressed
talk.
in?
What was he dressed?
I don't remember. I haven't seen Inception.
He was dressed like John Wick.
It's all tied together. It's a conspiracy in everyone.
Are the Matrix and Inception in the same universe? Also, what is the actual point of Inception? Because there has to be like an actual plot behind it, right? Or is it just like just trippy effects for the cost of trippy effects? Because like people talk about going into dreams, but like what reason did they have to go into dreams? You know.
But first, before you ask that, you have to ask yourself, what is a dream?
Life is but a row your kayak.
Go.
Kayak gently down the
Mississippi River. So guys,
Uh-huh.
let me tell you about NatureBox.
NatureBox?
NatureBox is I need to preface this by saying we are not sponsored by anybody, much less NatureBox. So they have nothing to do with the words I am about to say out of my mouth. And in fact, we are going to start calling them Wilderness Crate because NatureBox is copywritten. Wilderness Crate is a nice box full of dinner time solutions.
It's a crate.
Well, okay, you're right. It is a wooden crate that they ship to you, airdrop, via airdrop. It lands in your backyard about 50% of the time, if not on top of your house or your children. Now, I am going to say you're going to want to splurge on that monthly membership to get that. If you pay monthly on a monthly basis, you will only get the crate. If you pay for a year in advance, you will also get a landing platform that makes it easier for the pilots to see the actual ground from the house. And they will more often than not destroy your house if you own that target. So maybe you spend the extra $4,000 a year to have that pad, because if it's not a continuous membership, it does get repossessed.
Right.
But overall, Wilderness Crate is a crate with a bunch of fun breakfast solutions, such as
Granola.
Chocolate covered Nom Noms.
Tide Pod flavored granola.
Oh God.
Man, that's a controversy recently. I feel like nobody's actually eating them, and the media is just retarded.
No, they are. I saw a thing on the news.
Did you?
In the news lately. Because that's what changed. I'm like, it can't be real. And then I saw that. I'm like, apparently it is.
That's how Iowa boy eats Tide Pods and dies.
Guys, it's not for a challenge. We just want to die. It's not.
Sign me the fuck up.
Yeah, seriously. If that's as easy as it is, if I have to deal with like 20 minutes of a bad taste and like about an hour of a stomachache to just get out of here, I'm good. But in that case, I might as well just swallow a cup and a half of bleach.
Yeah, but that's more painful. Actually, I think Tide Pods have bleach in them. That's why they're lethal.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Bleach is used to clean clothes. Kind of, I think. I don't know.
White clothes.
I mean, okay, maybe I was wrong.
But overall, I think it's very important to say that Wilderness Box is a better way to crate.
Speaking of crates,
I
don't have it.
Are we talking about loot crates?
We're gonna talk about loot boxes.
No.
I'm gonna draw us a picture. It'll be a shitty picture.
I would like to remind you all that podcasts are not a very visual medium.
Yeah, it's not visual at all.
And adding a visual medium to them is a terrible, horrible idea. It never works out well, and you shouldn't do it.
You know, that's the good about podcasts, though. The people listening in, they don't know what I'm doing right now. I could be deep throating a banana.
No,
which is what I'm doing most of the time when I'm silent. Is I am practicing my deep throating with a banana. I said banana, but in all honesty,
you know what, ladies listening to this podcast, go home and deep throat
deep throat a grapefruit, please.
No, grapefruit throat your banana.
Grape throat.
I thought I said. Fuck, I need to stop. You know that you guys should know.
Ladies, go home and grapefruit your banana.
Grapefruit.
Throat grape your banana. Banana throat your grape. Actually, yeah, banana throat your grape.
Banana throat your grape, and apple your papayas.
And order some wilderness crate.
Don't forget the wilderness crate.
I eat rabbit food.
Oh, yeah, that also comes in the wilderness crate. I'm glad you got this week's shipment. I thought the rabbit food was a little dry, actually. I'm probably going to send it back.
Disgusting. So, Hunter.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what we haven't discussed yet?
The most important bird of them all. Sorry, word. Shit.
Well, now everybody knows that the bird is the word.
Shit.
Because bird is the word.
Hey, that's copywritten. Even covers get copyright. I'm going to get a strike. And then YouTube's going to come into my house and murder me for not showing a dead man on my channel.
Hey,
in the sense of the law, this is a parody.
I was gonna say.
This entire podcast is a parody of podcasts in general.
This is just one major fuck up.
Like me.
Like life.
Speaking of life, I woke up this morning and thought I wasn't real.
That's just
How do you...
Am I real?
Are any of us real?
Now, okay. While we're sitting here, Theron, did I read you the Garfield thing?
Oh no.
The Garfield thing.
Huh?
Myself.
You read
I
it?
have read it myself.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me see if I can... Here we go. I'm gonna... You know what? Just because it's very long and it's very fun, but I love reading it so much for people who haven't heard it yet. And I feel like I need to share this with the entire world who hasn't heard it yet. And if my parents listen to this, I'm sorry in advance. Really freaked out about... Well, I'm sorry. Let me start here. Let me see if I can find a username for this person. I can't. It's under Family and Relationships and Singles and Dating on Yahoo Answers. really freaked out my girlfriend. Need help? As a teenager, I suffered from severe depression and formed a strong bond with the character Garfield and his outlook. It's sad, but reading Garfield anthologies obsessively was the only thing that made me feel normal, and it eventually took on something of an erotic fixation. To avoid feeling like a sicko, I drew pictures of Garfield with a woman's, I think Pamela Anderson circa 1991, body and Garfield's head, so that I was assured that my fixation wasn't with animals or repressed homosexuality, because that's your problem. This Garfield Pam hybrid still had the same biting wit and acerbic, I think it's acerbic, I can't really read that, acerbic look intended to cut herself in self-loathing while wolfing down a lasagna to fill the void after sleeping with drawings of a much more handsome and muscular version of myself. These drawings eventually evolved into erotic fanfiction starring Garfield and myself. In my head, Garfield still has a woman's body, but someone reading the stories would think I'm having sex with regular Garfield. I killed off John in a jealous rage. I didn't touch Odie. I enjoy his companionship, and I don't mind if he watches. The stories are pretty basic wish fulfillment stuff, balanced with self-loathing rants. I've been doing this near daily for years, and I have a substantial amount of writing in a folder I keep buried in 8 different folders. My girlfriend stumbled across them by accident when they came up in a search and is pretty freaked out. How can I show her I'm just a normal guy with a weird outlet for my psychological problems and not some kind of sicko? Here's a small sample so you get the picture. Now I'm gonna... Can I read this without wanting to die?
No. Just the straight up answer is just no.
I'll tell you what. I'm gonna write down to put the link in the description, and y'all can read this if you want. I'm not gonna read it on my channel because I'm sitting here. Well, no, not you two, but like everybody else. Just write that down. Add.
While we are Garfield. On the topic of Garfield, though.
Link. Can we talk about the 9 Lives of Garfield? That movie was fucking awesome.
Yep. There we go.
I actually sat, like, I've never sat down and watched, like, something off of a whim so quickly.
You know, and I never watched it.
Dude, it's very much worth watching.
How good is it, though?
It is. Out of 10?
Mm-hmm.
It's an 8. Probably.
An 8? Decent.
There are... Okay, so, like, each cycle in Garfield's life is done in, like, a different style.
Right.
And there's one of his lives, I can't remember which one it is, that, like, is literally now my favorite piece of animation ever.
Oh, God, I'm scared.
Well, just because it's really... It looks pretty, it's well acted, and it's basically just the best thing ever. But there are some bad parts, like, I think, like, the third life or something is awful.
More where he's, like, abused or something?
Oh, no, there's one where he's, like, a man. Alright, let me...
Okay.
9 Lives of Garfield. Just gonna look this up. Summary. I don't know. Alright. Garfield, His 9 Lives was a TV special. It was about an hour long, my dudes. Okay. The TV special... We're gonna have to go to the TV special, because there's a book and then there's a TV special, and the book isn't great as far as I know. But... Alright, so there's a couple of acts to this movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just looking, one second, I'm just looking at the cast here. I thought I saw... I didn't. Okay, never mind. There is, in the beginning, in which God orders that the cat be created according to his specifications. Unlike the rest of the special, this prologue sequence is shot in live action. The scene where the angels question why God gives cat 9 lives varies slightly from the storybook version. God's feline features are not yet seen, yet he simply states that it might make a great plot for a story. Cave Cat, I can basically give you a summary of these because I remember them so clearly. So like my favorite thing about this is like Garfield is kind of omniscient about how his life has gone up to this point. So like it'll show the title sequence and then it'll show Garfield kind of standing by the credit like title card. And he'll go like for example, like the first one is called Cave Cat. So you see him standing by the words Cave Cat, and he says, "In my first life, I formulated many of my likes and dislikes. I disliked my rock bed. On the other hand, you wouldn't believe the size of pterodon drumsticks." It's whatever. But this is like modern day Garfield talking about his life as a cave cat.
Alright.
By the way, I would like to say, each of these shorts shows the cat dying in some way or another.
Okay, that's messed up.
Yeah, well, it's not messed up. It's like, it just shows the end of his life. So, like, Cave Cat ends when a giant dog, which is, like, at this point dinosaur-sized, brings a tree to him wanting to play fetch and just drops it on him.
Oh, wow.
King Cat... What were you going to say, Jacob?
I hate to interrupt your story, but I think I'm gonna go. Valhalla needs me, and I need to sleep.
You don't need to sleep. Just wait here for a sec. We're almost done. After this, we can call it.
Are we reaching the epiphany of our story then?
We absolutely are.
All right, let's hear it. Let's finish this masterpiece that you started.
So King Cat was a skit set in 2000 BC. In ancient Egypt, where cats were, of course, revered. So basically, Garfield belongs to the pharaoh, and when the pharaoh dies, he's put in a pyramid with the pharaoh, and then taken out, and then becomes a slave to Odie, who is the new pharaoh's pet.
That's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, kind of messed up. Then there's In the Garden. So I was right. It is the third sketch is the worst one. Wow. The words he says are, "My third life was my favorite. My body grew old, but I never, never, never grew up." It's just about this fucking Garfield in the like most Disney-esque rubber hose animation. Which is the only way I can think of how to like. Well, it's the only way I can think to like explain it. It's just gross and it's way too cheery. It's a lot. It's a lot to take in. It's just like so. It's so cheery, like trying to look cheery. It's ugly. The fun thing about this is like Garfield's not Garfield in all of these. So in the fourth one is court musician. In his fourth life, thinking was okay, I guess, but now I avoid it. I learned to think on my feet in my fourth life. Thinking was okay, I guess, but now I avoid it whenever possible. Garfield is a blue cat in this life. It's pretty cool. He's like the cat of a composer. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And some dumb stuff happens there. He just dies eventually of old age, I think.
Oh, that's not bad.
Then there's life 5, which was Stunt Cat. Life number 5 was short. Garfield, I can literally read this because it's like a sentence long. Garfield is briefly a stunt double for Crazy Cat. According to Garfield, his life as the stunt double was his shortest, because immediately as the skit starts, he is put under a bag of rocks and a bag of bricks is dropped on him.
Jesus.
And he dies.
Yeah, I would think so.
Now this one is my favorite by far, and therefore we'll come back to it. Life 6 is very important, so we'll come back to it at the end, okay?
Okay.
Life number 7 was Lab Animal.
Ooh.
Yeah. This one line pretty much gives it. In my 7th life, I was a laboratory animal. To this day, every time I see a test tube, I throw up.
So bad.
Well, so he is a test subject for drugs. The one second. All right, yeah. So when they go to dissect him, pull him out of the cage to dissect him because you know he's a test subject. He runs out the fucking door and then dies to like I think he just dies to a dog in the wild because he runs into the wild and doesn't have any survival tactics.
Oh God.
I think he just gets like eaten. And then there's Garfield. All that I ever was made me what I am in my 8th life. Somehow it's falling short of my expectations. So, that's just like regular Garfield as we know him, you know? That's Garfield and John and Odie, and it shows them like growing old and being old, and it's cool. It's okay. I like it. Space Cat.
Space Cat.
I'd like to think I'll live forever, but hey, I'm only human. Okay, here's a sneak preview of my 9th life. So Garfield is basically sent out into space to see how long he can survive as a cat alone on a spaceship.
And that's his 9th life?
That is his 9th life.
So he can see into the future as well.
Yeah, well, it says sneak preview, so yes. Now, here's where this gets a little interesting. I'm trying to figure out, should I go back? Okay. So I'm going to go talk about life number 6, because it literally is my favorite one, and I'm going to read the whole thing for it, okay?
Okay.
Life number 6 is titled Diana's Piano. 6 must be my lucky number, because that's the life I fell in love with music. I also fell in love with a girl who played the piano, just for me. A young girl, Sarah, receives a cat, Diana, who goes with her everywhere, especially to her new piano lessons. This is the only one of Garfield's lives, in either the book or the special, where the cat is explicitly identified as female. The story itself is told in flashback, with the animation reminiscent of watercolor paintings. In addition, the story is closer than any of the others to reality. The cat, Diana, is just a normal cat. Taking into account the fact that Sarah would play the piano only for Diana, Garfield considers this life his luckiest since he developed a love of music for it. Now, I would like to, just let me give you a summary of this basic plot, okay? Young girl gets a cat on her birthday, right? Just gets a little kitten, little fluffy white kitten, amazing, best thing ever. So the little fluffy white kitten is Garfield, in this one, Diana. So the young girl, Sarah, starts piano lessons, and Diana, Garfield, apparently had an ear for music, because she would lay on top of the piano, and every time this girl played a note wrong, that it would wake Diana up. And so, because of this, Sarah learns to play the piano almost expertly. And they are absolutely inseparable until Sarah goes to college. Sarah goes to college, comes back with a fiance, and though Diana misses her, Sarah takes Diana with her and her husband to their new city apartment, right? As a gift for Sarah's wedding. I'm surprised I remember all of this. I've watched it once.
Jesus, okay.
As a gift for Sarah's wedding, her parents give them the piano that was in their main room, which basically sits in a corner because, one, Sarah doesn't remember how to play that well, or she thinks she doesn't. She thinks she doesn't remember how to play, and it sits in the corner because there's just not enough room for it. They can't have it in the middle of the room. Sarah has a child who Diana is not especially fond of, for obvious reasons. So Diana's one escape is to the top of the piano where her bed still sits. It kind of comes to an end when Sarah tells the audience that one night she knew Diana wasn't feeling well, so she put Diana up on the top of the piano And before she went to bed, she played the greatest concert that she had ever played for Diana. And she basically says that this was my parting gift for my old friend.
Aww.
And then she walks away and she says, I love you, Diana, before she turns off the light and leaves Diana to go to sleep. And then we get a still shot of Diana in the bed as Sarah says, and somewhere in the middle of the night, just like that, Diana passed away.
That's so sad.
And now the reason she's telling this story is because she now has a new cat called Patches who's just sitting on her lap in this rocking chair as she's like an older woman now. And she says that she promised to only ever play music for Diana, but that if Patches wanted her to, that she would play for him. And the cat meows or whatever, and she goes, it's probably for the best. Diana wouldn't want it that way. And it's Theron.
That is sad.
Now, Jacob, be ready for this. We're about to hit the end.
I've been listening the entire time and kind of dumbstruck.
Garfield and Odie are killed at the end of Space Cat and meet God in the afterlife. Because the odds were so unfairly stacked against Garfield and Odie, and because God hadn't been able to keep track of lives Garfield had lived through due to Heaven's computers being down at the time, the pair are given all 9 lives back after tricking God that Odie is also a cat.
What the?
After they vanish, the special concludes when God, with his cat-like eyes now visible, says, "We have to stick together, you know."
What the hell?
This is going good, and then it kind of turned into a shit show. What the?
That's why I said Life Number 6 is the best thing about this fucking... It's the greatest. You can watch it on YouTube. It's just there. I'll probably put... I'm gonna have to add another Garfield link because we've... I'm just gonna put in parentheses porn under 1.
Oh god.
What'd you say?
She goes oh hell no.
No, what did he say? Did he say corn or porn?
Porn.
Why is there porn involved? When were you guys talking about porn to not call it on me?
When we were talking about Garfield's body on Pamela Anderson's head.
Oh, what? That doesn't count as porn. It counts as disgusting.
Now, now I'm not gonna lie. I heard this from my brother and me, and you know I know how this conversation goes, Jacob. So we're gonna talk about it for a second.
Oh no!
I'm joking. That's about it, guys. That's the Goth Girls podcast. We talked about some fun stuff today, including the greatest Garfield movie of all time. Fuck the live action stuff. Fuck. All animated specials from here to the end of the earth. This movie, this 4 TV movie, is the greatest. Let me just look up.
Alright, you finish.
You know what? I'll take that back. Garfield Gets Real is also a good movie, but it's not as good. I've never seen Garfield Gets a Life, so I don't really know. At some point, I'll admit that I just like Garfield. And that this special, yeah, what?
I like Garfield. I mean, I've only seen, some of the comics, and then the 2, live-action films.
Same.
The fact that you've seen the live-action films is blasphemy in itself.
I mean, that was in the 2000s.
Yeah. That's what...
Do you think Jeff Davis is going to hell for making God a cat?
Probably. Though, as we all know, Keanu's Christ is the real one.
That's our biggest achievement tonight. We proved Keanu Reeves.
We proved Keanu Reeves is Jesus Christ, and that God is a cat, and that Garfield was best as Diana.
Yep. This is our wonderful work.
Now I do have a segment that I'd like to end off the show with, right? I would like to propose that we each talk about something that made us cry as goth girls.
Tonight?
As
At any point in the past. Like, just something that in the past, like, has made you cry of emotions. They don't have to be sad emotions, just made you cry. Because tears are important, and showing emotional stability is also important. Showing emotional vulnerability,
Virginability.
yes, is very important to me as a person. So go ahead and tell me what you got.
And for all the males out there, it's okay to cry.
It is okay to cry. And if you
Except
don't think it is, you can go fuck yourself.
Except in the presence of
What you gonna say?
Can I get a fucking
let me get a
boneless pizza?
and a large order of Coke.
Oh my god. But if we're gonna be honest, since it's just on topic here, the Diana special is what made me cry last. Well, not last. It's what recently made me cry that I want to talk about.
So it has to be recent.
I'd say recently, within the past year or two. It can be anything. It can be the ending to a show. It can be whatever.
Okay. I got this then. So I'll just share mine real quick since I already shared his. So I was watching this TV show, and it has like this full range cast of characters, or whatever. And there's this really mean character that doesn't really have like any family at all, except for her big sister, right? Well,
Aaron, were you watching The Fairly Odd Parents?
No.
Wait, what?
No, I was not. This bigger sister was, she had Down syndrome, so she was in a nursing home because she was getting so old and she couldn't really take care of herself.
What fucking TV show is this?
I don't remember right now,
Sure.
but all I know is like the sister passed away, and so the younger sister is like mean to everyone, got like super sad and depressed and all that stuff, and it was just really sad.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's basically it's emotionally impactful to see someone who's like super mean and hates everyone to get super sad and cry. I don't know.
Yeah, I've cried of happiness more than sadness in these last couple months, I'd say, since summer.
What if I told you I don't really cry that often?
That's because the fucking patriarchy fucking
kind of, yeah. But also, Jacob, it can be any time you think you felt like strong emotions so much that you might have.
Oh, I mean, anytime I think of what the fuck I'm doing now, and how I'm no longer like able to have like the kind of peaceful, carefree life I had.
In high school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It hits me every now
All right.
like all the fucking time. Like it got deep really quick, but I'm just saying.
You want to go for round 2 just so that we know we're good?
Oh, we're good.
You think we're good, Theron?
I think we're good. that went from like to boom.
Hey,
Yeah.
sometimes life is meaningless.
Sometimes life is just
Like a hurricane here in Duckville. Duckburg. Damn it.
Life is
Like a hurricane here in Duckburg. Life is like a box of chocolates.
from the wilderness crate. Order some chocolate nom nom.
Or Big Island pineapple.
North Korea's coming.
Stop.
They have said they're gonna press the button.
Today, do go and hide in a hole or not. It doesn't matter, cause the bombs are coming.
Oh.
People, they're trying to run away, but they can't cause there's no place to run away. They're running, but nothing's gonna happen, cause they're dead. Yeah.
That's all I got.
I don't remember much of the actual song to keep coming up parody lyrics.
I mean, that's fine. So guys, we'll go ahead and see you guys on the next Goth Girls podcast, because this is about an hour. I'm glad you guys joined us for this hour of absolute dumbassery. I'm not going to edit like any of this. It's all just going to go in. But I'm glad you all could join us. I'd like to give a special shout out to Wilderness Box, Wilderness Crate for sponsoring us. Their imaginary money goes to fund our imaginary hedge fund. And one of these days we'll get enough money to buy a rocket ship to blast into space and throw ourselves into the sun like the garbage we are.
Please.
Other than that, darkness be
Support us
with
on
you.
Patreon.
Support me on Patreon. But yeah, y'all have a good old time. Let the Dark Lord guide your way, and may shadows be ever at your back.
Bye.
Bye.